I have a tendency to think I'm not going to yap, and I end up speaking way longer than I expected. But I actually just wanted to talk to you guys very briefly about Dave the Diver, and I hope you guys don't mind. After this video game video, I'm going to be transitioning. Probably the next three videos will be about Image Comics, comic books, not Marvel Big Two stuff. I'm really trying to expand and open people's horizon to the vast world of comic books, the same way manga and video games have all these different genres and different people and independent creators and all this really dope, rich content. So stuff like Monstrous, East to West, and like Deadly Class and some other things I really want to highlight. So I am going to be stepping away from video games for the rest of December into maybe a little bit of January. But let me talk about Dave the Diver, because this is a game that came out in 2023 that finally went on sale, and I finally got it. I've beaten it. I've played it for about 40 hours, and I actually had a blast being a fat man under the sea. It was really fun. However, I have some issues with the game, and I do think it's one of those games that does something that I don't particularly love all the time, which is interrupt my favorite part of the game, the gameplay loop, which is the part where you go underwater and search. But let me kind of start at the beginning. So Dave the Diver is about a diver named Dave, a scuba diver. He's pretty talented. He's pretty good at what he does. And one of your old friends, Cobra, essentially opens up a sushi restaurant with this guy named Bancho. This is black guy. He's so fucking dope. He's cool. He's sick. He got swag. He's so fly. That's my man's. And yeah, you open up a sushi restaurant, and essentially it's your job to collect the ingredients. So you dive underwater and you're harpooning and shooting sharks, fish, piranha, squids, getting shrimp, getting algae, seaweed, for whatever reason. Well, and then like to upgrade your actual weapons, like your harpoon and like guns and whatnot, you might find like scrap metal and glass and fragments of things underwater, which allow you to like craft better weapons underwater to fight things. And I thought the game would be a little scary when I like ran into the sharks and stuff like that, but no, it's not. It's honestly pretty fly and pretty dope, and I would argue it's more of a cozy game than it isn't. Granted, I do want to say by the time that I started playing, it had this like Godzilla DLC. So there was like a Godzilla chapter where you got to do a kaiju battle. I'm not actually well versed in kaiju stuff. So it was Ibrath, I think it is, like the giant, like, is it a crayfish or like giant like lobster? And you actually got to fight it as Godzilla. So I guess Godzilla isn't always a bad guy. Apparently it also fights for humanity. But that was a pretty cool DLC. I feel like it actually fit into the story and didn't like interrupt the narrative. More so it enhanced it and was this cool little side stuff that related to the narrative. But let's move forward from there. The general gameplay loop is in the morning and afternoon, you do a dive. You have a weight limit, you have a oxygen limit. The oxygen also is your HP. So when you get hit underwater by certain, I want to say carnivorous, but I want to say like predatory fish. So sharks, when they see you, will attack you. Piranhas will attack you. Some squids that are like poisonous will attack you. Some things run away from you, and some things just do their own thing. So like there's different patterns for different sea life under the ocean. So the gameplay loop is you go, you fish, you harpoon, you carry up as much as you can, and there is a weight limit that you can increase. There's a depth limit that you can increase, and like I said earlier, you can expand your weapon inventory and strengthen the weapons that you have. Like your harpoon could have a poison tip, a shock tip, for some reason a flaming tip. I don't know how we're on fire underwater, but it's a video game. We're gonna let it go. It's fine. And after that, you go to the restaurant. In the restaurant, you have to actually serve sushi, serve beer, serve cocktails, serve green tea and food to the people who come to eat at the restaurant. That's the nighttime loop. You have to make sure that you're pouring the right amount of tea, the right amount of foam with the beer, and making sure you don't run out of wasabi. And you actually pick the menu every day, and you can prioritize based on taste, based on how much it costs, and the better you do, the more money you get, which allows you to upgrade other things. All of your upgrade stuff are on your phone. There's an iDiver app for all the things I mentioned earlier. dive depth limit, oxygen tank, how much stuff you can carry. Later on, you get like drones that can like wrap up really big fish and then go and send them straight up to the restaurant. And like that's the general gameplay loop. Fish, hunt, explore the ocean, go back up to the boat, explore the ocean, go back up to the boat, run the restaurant. In the restaurant, you can hire people to work in the kitchen and outside the kitchen. And some of them are good at getting tips. Some can like clean the table. Some are good at serving really fast. And you just kind of have to manage that yourself. And I'm not a big fan of all of these interlocking systems sometimes, because the thing that I want to do the most is go underwater, explore, swim, and harpoon and kill fish and capture fish. That's my favorite part of the game. The deeper into the game you get, the more I feel that core gameplay loop gets interrupted. You get a fish farm where you get eggs that go to the fish farm, which means you really don't have to collect certain fish anymore to the same level that you had to, unless maybe you're searching for something very specific. Then you get like an actual farm, which you can grow like seaweed. You get two farms, an underwater farm, I'll get there in a second, and a like regular farm where you can grow like eggs. You get like a chicken coop, you get like plot of land where you can grow rice and wheat and things of that nature, garlic and whatnot, which means you don't really have to look for ingredients anymore. And it kind of focuses on the main story. And to me, that was a little disappointed, though I still never stopped. I always explored and hunted fish until I was over capacity. When you go over capacity, you become extremely slow underwater. So if you need to get away from a predator or something, it gets dangerous. I actually didn't die very much. And the few times I died, listen, I'm a Fire Emblem player. If I lose a unit I like, I restart the whole level. So the few times I died at the beginning, I didn't save. I restarted that dive solely because if you die, you can only bring one fish article or one item with you. You can't bring everything. But the game is about these sea people you find. So I think Atlanteans, whatever, underwater people, you find them in like this area, the blue hole, which I pretty much call the all blue from One Piece, is a place where like all the fish in the world kind of come together. Swordfish, maki, whatever the case may be, I say maki, but like whatever the case may be, all come together, and the layout slightly changes. I wouldn't call it a roguelike where I say it's randomly generated, like procedurally generated, but I do think it cycles between the same like 4 layouts. Like I don't think the layout's completely different every time, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, after you get the fish farm and the farm, you have an underwater farm with the like sea people. They can grow like seaweed for you, and then once you're in there, you have to like help them out. They have their own currency, their own weaponry and stuff like that you can use to also upgrade yourself and become stronger, better diver, from cooking and things like that. And basically you have to help them. Their civilization and their machinery is malfunctioning, and you have to go into the divine tree and like stop it from like malfunctioning and stuff like that. So that's like the main story. The story works, it's completely serviceable, though I wouldn't call it the most interesting thing, but I liked it. It was fun, it was cool, but I just found that it was one of those things that got in the way of what I wanted to do the most, which is exploration and fishing. And granted, I'm a person who likes to be left alone in video games. I don't really like the hand holding. You don't tell me what to do. I like to do my own thing. But it gets to the point where I feel like I'm managing all of these different systems. I got to hire people. I got a branch restaurant now. We're going to hire a manager there and cooks there. And then I got to make the menu every day. I have to make sure that I'm staying on top of Bancho's cooking stuff, where like every once in a while he'll have to face off someone in the cook-off, or somebody very specific who's famous comes and asks for a very specific dish or type of dish, and then within the 3 days you have to procure all the ingredients to be able to do that. There's a cat you have to feed. You have to manage the farm and pick out weeds and stuff like that, check it every day. And it just became a lot by the end. Just like even like this eco-friendly thing where it's like, oh, collect like 50 pink seashells, and you send it there and you get stuff. And then like even for the Godzilla DLC, you can collect like the Godzilla like action figures. You know, just like there came a point where I'm like, oh, There's so much happening, getting away in the thing that I care about the most. However, I still recommend the game. It should only take you about 20 hours to beat unless you want to do everything, which I think it takes maybe about 50 to 60 hours. I am a notoriously slow gamer, so whatever the number is, you can usually double it or multiply it by like 1.5 or something. So if it's like, oh, this game takes 4 hours to beat, expect me to be done in 8 to 10 hours. I'm just really slow. I'm one of those people. And yeah, man, the pixel art is really good. It's really beautiful. I love the cutscenes and how they animate it. The game does not take itself too seriously. I think the characters are very solid. I know it's had a lot of cool DLC like a Dragon with Ichiban and stuff like that, who was also in Sonic Racing Crossworlds now, so I guess he's been getting more popularity. I think it's related to the Yakuza series. I promise to get into the Yakuza series by 2027. Give me time. I have caught up to like Metal Gear Solid and like Resident Evil for the most part and some other things I missed as a child, but Yakuza is the next big franchise I want to tackle, but I'm not there yet. But Days of Diver is really cool. I think it's a smooth like 7.5 out of 10. I had fun with it. I don't particularly plan on revisiting it, but I do know it has some like timed collabs sometimes with like, I want to say, was it Nikkei? Nikke? And stuff like that. So if anything cool happens, I might pop in and check it out. But I'm done with the game. I'm done playing with it and playing it, and I had a great time doing so. So yeah, Days of Diver is cool, man. Check it out again. I didn't want to. It's not like a review. I don't think I'm doing. I'm just kind of telling you the what I did and didn't like about. Oh, the boss fights are really fun. They're really good. I really enjoyed the boss fights. They were incredible. And honestly, I found this was one of those games where the boss fights weren't too difficult, and I genuinely had more trouble with like if I got swarmed by like predators or like got into a sticky situation with like the general main enemies in the game, if you will, as opposed to like the actual bosses. Some games I feel are like that, where I'm like, the JRPG bosses in this turn-based game are not difficult, but some of the enemies, when I'm late into a dungeon, that's where like things get tricky and I have to really use tactics and strategy in order to overcome the obstacle in which I'm facing. So give it a shot, check it out. It's pretty cool, it's pretty fun. Like I said earlier, I'm taking a break from video game content. Maybe, you never know, I might just get inspired randomly to make something in Yap, but stay tuned. I want to talk about Monstrous, East to West, Low. I want to talk about like some other really, really dope comics I think you guys would really fuck with. So please be open-minded. Please give them a shot. Please read them and watch them. When they come out. Like the video, subscribe, comment, share, and all those things. And you guys be safe, man. Be safe.